You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
This program is intended for mature audiences only. If you have any homicidal or suicidal feelings, please consult a doctor before listening to this program.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it may be to you. It's right now to me, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, which of course is a Tuesday, the 17th of February, 2015. So let's see, Tuesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern. Oh, right. It's time for the one and the only Crash Talk. And today's Crash Talk is Mr. Weed, huh? Do you like the Mr. Weed, man? Yeah, we talk about weed. Maybe we talk about some kilograms of weed. We talk about some stuff, no? Yeah, well, you sit back for the next 90 minutes, man. I'm going to set you up with some really good stuff about the weed, man. We're going to set it up. It's going to be good. Stay around. Well, you know, you got it on the right station, man. Yes, you do. It's Crash Talk, and tonight, Mr. Weed. Yeah, what are we talking about, Mr. Weed, you might say? The hell is that? Some new character you've come up with there, buddy? Well, kinda, yeah. Is that new character that's sitting there saying to himself, well, geez, what the hell are we waiting for? Yeah, not even kidding. As you may or may not have guessed tonight, Crash Talk is, of course, coming to you live from HTLA Studio 2 in downtown Manhattan, and it's lovely here. It's 25 degrees and clear, and not a bad night, but not great. Could be warmer by about, 60 more degrees. I'd be happier. So I'll digress from that and stay in the studio here and give you the 2020 on 420, shall we? Yes. And of course, what am I talking about? My God, this guy's rambling on. What is he indeed going on about tonight? Well, it's about pot, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, the weed, ganja. Ooh. The good stuff, the bad stuff, whatever you want to call it. And, of course, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? Well, I got a lot to say, actually. A lot to say. What we're going to be covering in the show tonight, of course, is the good side, the bad side, and the ugly side of marijuana, I guess. Of course, now, the governments all over the United States are being pressured more and more to legalize marijuana. And while it's not legal in Canada, I can certainly speak to 40 years of history with the old sweet leaf and the Canadian populace at large, because they don't really care if you smoke it. They don't really care if you grow it. And they don't really care. Full stop. So I figured, hey, well, this all going in the United States and everybody all up in arms and scared and worried and all that other good stuff, I figured it was your friendly Canadian's duty here to come on tonight and tell you, hey, man, it ain't that bad. That's right. So that's essentially what I'm doing tonight on my lovely show. Yes, I am Canadian. I come from a country where pot use is 4 times that of the global rate. Yeah, marijuana use in Canada is the highest in the industrialized world and more than 4 times the global rate. Yeah, absolutely. So I thought, yeah, well, okay, this gives me some experience, I guess, to speak from. I've grown it before. I've dealt it before. I've smoked it before. I've done it all before, so I'm your guy. I'm the one to talk to. Statistics Canada, of course, also relates pot to risky teen behavior. We'll look into that story, as well as marijuana use in Canada. Which province tokes the most? Yeah, that's kind of interesting, too. Actually, the numbers there kind of blew me away because, of course, it's not British Columbia, where I'm from, which is like the growing capital of the entire universe. But it's not there, no. But we'll get into that. Got a good show set up for you, long show. 90 minutes of just pure crash talk and goodness here for you tonight, so don't be going nowhere. I'll have to get my boys to come and hunt you down. But first up, let's talk about America. Shall we? Let's talk about the good old USA, of where I obviously no doubt reside now. And, well, I thought my golden pot days were behind me, but now it seems maybe not. No, because there's more and more. Oh, well, we'll legalize this, we'll legalize that in California, yeah, Colorado, yeah, New York State, you bet. But you guys are doing it in such a, I don't know, what's the word? Retarded, childlike way, I guess. What I'm speaking to, of course, is the whole medicinal marijuana. The hell is that? Well, it's a number of things. Yes, you can get the leafy stuff, but you can also get in the medical varieties, well, I guess hash oil. You can, of course, get your pot in pill form, although why the hell you'd want that, I don't know. And, everybody's saying, oh, well, medical marijuana is so much higher quality, better grade. Yeah, no, it's not. And I can also speak to that experience directly, too. You ain't knowing what you're talking about until you're talking about some pure strains of Mexican red hair, or Thai stick, or, well, a number of other varieties that, when grown properly and in a cultured, rich environment, which Canada, of course, is, you come up with stuff that's second to none in the world. And not that I've actually had a chance to sample this medicinal stuff, but from all the people I talk to who have tried this and have got prescriptions for it and all that good stuff, simply by going to the doctor and saying, I can't sleep at night. Yeah. That's all it takes. The doctor can write you a prescription and you can go get your medical marijuana. It's okay, but it's not as good as the stuff I'm talking about. And because of the first story tonight that I'm going to bring you, I'm kind of raising the hand and asking the question, wait a minute, why are we going with all this pharmaceutical cultivated stuff by certain growers who get to benefit from all this when there's much better grades, better qualities, and indeed better strains out there to make your high times even better that are getting passed over, missing the boat, as it were. Well, in Denver, Colorado's marijuana users are helping to buy new roofs, boilers, and security upgrades for public schools across the state as the first round of special pot taxes gets allocated later this year. Yeah, see? The state's voters in 2012 legalized pot sales and taxed them heavily, in part because the constitutional amendment promised that $40 million a year would go towards school construction across the state. In the first full year of sales, however, the state expects to collect only about $17 million in special school taxes levied on the marijuana industry. Still, it's better than what the state collected the year before, which, of course, was nothing. Well, the people who are smoking marijuana before legalization still are, but now they're paying taxes, says Governor John Hickenlooper. There's a name you can say when you're stoned. Oh, dude, man, that Hickenlooper, far out. Yeah, I'll digress, or digress in this case. Thank you. Overall, Colorado collected about $63 million in marijuana taxes in 2014 on an industry worth about $700 million. Thank you very much. Much of that tax money goes directly to the state's general fund, not to the specific school construction account, of course. No, why would we do that? The school construction money comes from a 15% tax levied on the wholesale sales from growers to recreational marijuana dealers. Yes, see, there's the recreational, and there's the medicinal, and then there's everybody's got their hand in this. You knew they would. Much of the rest of the tax money is being dedicated towards drug abuse, education, research, and substance abuse treatment, because Colorado was the first state to legalize and tax recreational marijuana sales. Lawmakers across the country are closely watching its experiences. It is money we're trying to put to good use, says Senator Pat Stedman, a Democrat and member of the Colorado Legislature Budget Writing Committee. We had no tax money to combat these ills when it was being sold illegally. A declaration of Vermont policymakers visited Denver this month as the Green Mountain State considers legalization, the latest in a string of visitors curious to better understand how Colorado is handling the end of marijuana prohibition. Driving the Vermont delegation's visit is an independent report suggesting Vermont could see new tax revenues worth $20 million to $75 million annually, in part paid by pot tourists from the Massachusetts, New York, and New Hampshire states. Our assumption is that it would take the industry a few years to ramp up, said Scott Newell, director of the Office of Capital Construction for the Colorado Department of Education. Washington State, which also legalized recreational marijuana, also expects to see its tax collections grow over the coming years. Washington expects to collect about $694 million in state revenue through the middle of 2019. This according to state budget projections. Although it collected only about $40 million in recreational marijuana taxes, sum in total, in 2014. In Colorado, Newell's office oversees the marijuana money being dedicated towards school construction. He said he expects to have about $17 million to hand out in his first round, with the $40 million annual allotment available in a few years. In Colorado, a small rural public charter school could be built for $10 million, he said, while an urban high school could cost $100 million or more. Where the heck are they getting this? Who's the contractors? Like Scarface? $100 million for a high school? Somebody's high. Yeah, somebody's smoking something there. What do you got it paved in gold? Oh, right. It's probably for all those Saudi Arabian chic high school students that have immigrated here and need to go to high school. I could see that being $100 million, you bet. There's a lot more sales taxes being generated than excise taxes. The sales taxes don't go to this program, he said. There's been a common misconception on marijuana tax. Colorado policymakers in 2014 discovered that far fewer people than expected switched from medicinal marijuana to recreational marijuana once it was legalized. So you see, now we're seeing this sway now. See, most states you can get medical marijuana, but most states also don't have legal recreational marijuana. And of course, that's what I was talking about in the beginning of the show. All that Mexican red hair and tie stick. That's the good stuff, kids. That's the stuff you want. This pharmaceutical stuff is no doubt, churned out by Upjohn or any of those lovely drug companies that wouldn't stand for any money to be made in the drug business without their fists in it. Make no mistake. So, yeah. So I'm going to be fist up in the air for the man, the man that I want to do the majority of pot sales, which is the everyman. What's stopping you and me from getting some seeds, getting some good soil, getting some hydroponics, and getting busy and making some money? Can't tell me that this country has no shortage of people who have drive and ambition, and all they need is a direction. And they, too, can enjoy capitalism at its finest here in this great country, couldn't they? But no, those pharmaceutical companies, they would have a problem with that. But it's nice to see that recreational marijuana is actually happening, gang. Yeah. The medical marijuana is actually taxed at a far lower rate. Most heavy users opt to spend $15 on a state-issued red card, allowing them to buy